People are interested in log cabins. They love log cabins.
We are fascinated with log cabins. Log cabins give us a sense of peace and being one with nature. They radiate feelings of coziness, warmth, simplicity, and charm. Log cabins are a national symbol of humble origins thanks to our 16th president. Abraham Lincoln was born in a one-room log cabin in Kentucky. Lincoln logs are rumored to be named after President Lincoln. How many of you played with this simple toy, stacking the logs perfectly together, imagining your own woodsy retreat to play in? Or maybe you imagined building a toy house on top of your pickup truck.
It's a great icebreaker. I meet tons of people.
Throughout the country are log cabins, small and humble, and log homes and lodges, large and luxurious, all equally beautiful and appealing. Have you ever wondered who built the first log cabins here in the United States?
We Finns, part of our heritage, part of our legacy to this country, is that the Finns introduced the log cabin to America.
The Finns, when they came in 1638 to the New Sweden colony, along with the Swedes, but they brought the Finns along to do the work. And the Finns came and started building log buildings in New Sweden.
A small vestige of these original log construction, original log cabins, still exist today.
The oldest log cabin still standing in the U.S. is the Finnish-made Knocknagle cabin in Gibbstown, New Jersey.
And then it was copied, but very, very loosely copied in a sense, you know, stacking logs and whatever. But the Finns, they have a way of doing theirs, very unique.
They used a technique of scribing and hewing so that the logs would fit tightly together. And they eliminated chinking. That's Finnish log construction. There is no chinking.
I met Frank Eld in 2017 when he was searching my hometown area for Finnish log construction. I saw him again in 2018 at the Finnish-American Folk Fest in Nassau, Washington, and again at FinFun Weekend in Troy, New Hampshire. Frank has been touring the Finnish-American Festival circuit across the U.S. as Finlandia Foundation National's Lecturer of the Year. His presentations are very visual, chock full of history, laughs, and wood chopping.
I'm Frank Eld, and I was born in Idaho. I was born in a Finnish community in the central Idaho. Yeah, there are Finns in Idaho. I've always been interested in history ever since I was a young child, or a young adult, I guess. And I restored an old pump organ that belonged to my mother's oldest brother. And that started my passion for all old things, and in combination with my family history, the Finnish history. So when I graduated college, I came home and I bought the old general store in Roseberry. It was just a building, abandoned building, and I started the Long Valley Preservation Society, and we started then moving buildings to preserve them because they were going to be torn down. And then I started preserving Finnish buildings, and we now have 8 Finnish log buildings there. So that's when I really started getting into the preservation of Finnish history, Finnish culture. And that's when I realized that Finnish log construction was different than traditional or American log construction, which there's lots of log cabins in Idaho. Everybody built a log cabin. So I had seen hundreds and hundreds of them, and I realized, hey, these are different. And that's when I started my research, as well as doing the restoration. But I said, when I retire, I'm going to go to Minnesota, because everybody knows there's Finns in Minnesota. I mean, that's a given. So I'm going to go to Minnesota. I'm going to see if their Finnish log construction is the same as what I saw in Idaho and what I saw in Finland. And I went, it was, and so I said, well, and then I got real curious. And I said, I wonder if they did this everywhere. And so then I started the serious traveling through upper U.S. and through Canada 5 years ago.
And since then, Frank has been traveling in style.
I have traveled thousands and thousands of miles in the Winnebago. I couldn't afford the expense of going to hotels every night, so I said, well, I need a camper. So I started looking for a camper to fit a small pickup, which they used to make, but they don't anymore. They say off-bounces the truck. So I'm thinking, well, I guess I'm going to have to make one. And, well, when I make something, I always, maybe a little over the top, let's say. The great features of having this is because I'm a stranger wherever I go. People don't know who I am. And a lot of times I will see a log building somewhere, I'll pull off, and the conversation starts with the Finnibago. And then I tell them who I am, what I'm doing, and no one's ever said you can't photograph and document my building, and they usually say, well, there's one down the road there you might want to go look at too.
While I stayed in New England last fall, I got the chance to ride around in the Finnibago, and it sure does turn heads and start conversations. If you see Frank's Lincoln Log Toy House in your own travels, he doesn't mind giving people the full tour and letting people know it's the Finns you can thank for our love of log cabins.
It's very, very comfortable. And it's not as small as it seems. It's quite roomy in there. And it's all cedar, so it all smells good. And it's my little home away from home.
For My Finnish-American Life, I'm Kristin Ojaniemi.